This podcast is sponsored by sciencebased.learning.com. Discover your passion for languages with our innovative ebook, audiobook, and video system. Maximize retention using spaced repetition. Start your journey today.
How cross-linguistic transfer shapes adult language learning success. Discover how cross-linguistic transfer impacts adult language learning and how to use it to improve your language acquisition process effectively. Understanding cross-linguistic transfer in language learning. If you're an adult language learner, chances are you've noticed moments when your native language seems to help, or sometimes confuse your efforts to learn a new language. This phenomenon is known as cross-linguistic transfer, a fascinating aspect of the science of language learning that plays a significant role in how we acquire new linguistic skills. What is cross-linguistic transfer? Cross-linguistic transfer refers to the way knowledge from one language influences the learning or use of another language. This transfer can be positive, where similarities between languages make learning easier, or negative, where differences lead to errors and confusion. It's a natural part of language acquisition, especially common for adult language learners who already have a solid foundation in their first language. For example, if you speak Spanish and you're learning Italian, the grammar and vocabulary similarities can make certain aspects easier to grasp. On the other hand, if the sentence structure or idiomatic expressions differ significantly, you might mistakenly apply rules from your native language, causing errors. How does cross-linguistic transfer work? Our brains hold a wealth of linguistic information from the languages we know. When adults begin to learn a new language, the brain references this stored knowledge to process and produce language in the target language. This referencing can happen at multiple levels. Phonological level. Sounds and pronunciation patterns from your native language can influence how you produce sounds in the new language. Lexical level. Vocabulary from your first language might help you recognize, guess, or even confuse similar words in the new language. Grammatical level. Sentence structures or tense usage can transfer, sometimes making new grammar easier to learn, but at times causing errors when rules don't match. Pragmatic and cultural level. How you use language in social contexts can be influenced by your original language's cultural norms. Positive versus negative transfer. Positive transfer happens when your first language shares characteristics with the language you are learning. For example, English and German both use similar sentence structures, making it easier for English speakers to learn German. Likewise, vocabulary with common Latin roots can help learners quickly expand their lexicon in another Romance language. Negative transfer, also called interference, occurs when differences between languages cause mistakes. For instance, an English speaker learning French might incorrectly apply English adjective-noun order, saying house big in French instead of the proper maison grande. These errors can be frustrating but are a normal part of the learning journey. Why is understanding cross-linguistic transfer important for adult language learners? Adult language learners have a unique advantage. They already know how to learn a language because they've done it once or more. While children often acquire languages naturally through immersive exposure, adults rely more on conscious knowledge. Recognizing how your first language affects your second language acquisition can help you identify potential challenges before they slow your progress. Harness similarities to accelerate vocabulary and grammar learning. Develop strategies to manage interference and reduce errors. Improve pronunciation by understanding the role of native phonology. How to use cross-linguistic transfer to your advantage. Here are practical tips for adult language learners on leveraging cross-linguistic transfer. Compare and contrast. Take time to study the similarities and differences between your native language and the target language. This can help you spot helpful connections and avoid common mistakes. Focus on cognates. Look for words that are similar in both languages. These can give you quick wins when building vocabulary. Be aware of false friends. Some words look alike but have very different meanings. Learning these mid-early can prevent confusion and awkward moments. Practice pronunciation with awareness. Pay close attention to sounds that don't exist in your first language. Repeated practice can reduce negative transfer here. Use structured tools and systems. Employ proven learning methods that take transfer into account so you follow a path aligned with how language acquisition works in adults. Cross-Linguistic Transfer and the Science Behind Efficient Learning. Current research in the science of language learning reinforces that adult learners benefit greatly from understanding their own language systems in relation to the target language. One of the most powerful methods is using spaced repetition combined with multimodal resources that align with how memory retention works in the brain. If you want to boost your adult language learning journey, consider methods that apply these principles actively. ScienceBasedLearning.com offers a simple ebook, audiobook, and video language learning system combined with an online practice app that uses the science behind spaced repetition to maximize your learning and retention. This system is designed to help you not just memorize but truly internalize the language by reinforcing new vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation in ways that minimize negative transfer and leverage positive transfer. That's how you build lasting skills that stick. Final thoughts. Cross-linguistic transfer is a natural part of language acquisition for adult learners. By understanding what it is and how it can both help and hinder your progress, you empower yourself to take smarter steps in your language learning journey. Embrace your existing knowledge, be mindful of potential pitfalls, and use research-backed strategies to make your learning more effective. If you're wondering how to learn a language more efficiently or want a system tailored for adult learners, be sure to check out ScienceBasedLearning.com. The combination of ebook, audiobook, video lessons, and a spaced repetition app makes it a solid choice to enhance your skill building and retention. Happy learning,